I'm Heather from Here Booktubes, and today is the top 5 books that I read in February. In February, I read 30 books. I didn't have 3 of them. I read 27, and then out of that, I had 13 5-star reads. These are the best ones. First, I want to talk about Is She Says Yes by Tasha L. Harrison. This is a age gap romance with a Mexican-American hero who is 32 and the best friend of her son. We have a black heroine. She is 55. She is beautiful. She is stressed. She is a nurturer. And he has had feelings for her since he was like 19. Like, he has just always had a thing for her. Now his best friend is getting married and they are back at his mom's house for the wedding weekend. That's where the wedding is taking place in Charleston. And his mom is stressed. The best friend, his dad, cheated on the mom like all through their marriage, and then right when she was going to ask for a divorce, he died. And then the mistress had a son with him, a young son. So that she has to deal with that with the wedding because her son and the little kid are like, they're trying to be a family. The best friend, he's like, it's Tomas, I think is how you say his name. He's just like, I'll take care of her, and he's like always flirted with her and stuff, but this book gave me physical butterflies. It was so freaking hot. I loved him so much. He's like a submissive, but he's also very caring, takes care of her. She's a nurturer who takes care of everyone else over herself and just needs to like be selfish and take care of herself. This ends on a happy for now, and it ends without the conflict with the best friend and son, so he never finds out about the relationship. So we never get that conflict, and I guess you just leave it up to your imagination whether you think that he threw a fit or not. It was so good. It was so freaking good. When I say I got butterflies, I mean I got butterflies at more than one scene in this book. Do you know how hard that is to do? It was just so incredibly good, and I can't wait to pick up another book by her. Then I have Truly by Carmel Rhodes. This is a dark romance. This is a bully, high schoolish type romance. So it starts the day that they graduate high school, and the hero sexually assaults the heroine. It's not just Doobie's consent. He sexually assaults the heroine. That's on page at the beginning of the book. If that is too much for you, don't read the book. Don't read the book, because that is a big thing. And then he just kind of won't let her go. Like, he's obsessed with her. And it turns into consensual non-consent, and it's very obsessive. There's a third act breakup, which you know I don't like, but it was so good. It was like exactly what I wanted it to be. I ended up rooting for them so hard. It was really well done. I really enjoyed it. So she graduated from high school. Her mom died, and when her mom graduated from high school, she took a road trip with her sister to go to college. So that's what the heroine wants to do, and she's recreating that with her best friend, and it was just really amazing. Also, the heroine's name is Truly, and that comes from a Bible verse, and that's like a theme throughout the book, which I thought was really interesting since it is a dark romance. There's also some triggers for domestic abuse, not towards the heroine, but towards another main character. So it is there. Then I have Selena or Alanna, The First Adventure, which is Song of the Lioness #1 by Tamora Pierce. This is a reread. This is like my favorite. These are like my favorite interconnected series from childhood, and Ashley from Bookish Realm and Bethany from Beautifully Bookish Bethany are doing a read-along. Bethany also loves these from childhood, and Ashley is reading them for the first time, and it's just so amazing. Like, I'm so excited about it, you don't even know. So the second live show is in March. We'll be doing the second book, which is In the Hand of the Goddess, and these are such easy reads. You could so easily read these 2 books in March to catch up if you want to have it done for the live show. It's just very easy reading. I was honestly surprised how much I enjoyed my reread. I reread it for the last time about 3 years ago, and it's just so good. You forget so much, and there's just so many good things in it. Alanna is a little girl who wants to be a knight, and she has a twin brother who wants to be a scholar, and so they switch places. They have a dead mother and an absent-minded father. Her twin knows how to forge their father's handwriting, and so he just changes it out that they're twin boys. She cuts her hair. It's very interesting because they deal with adolescent issues, and her body changes as she's trying to hide that she is a female. And she makes friends with the prince. She makes friends with the king of thieves. She works hard to become a knight and is always trying to be the best in order to prove that if they find out that she's a girl, that she's good enough. And she's not the best at everything, but she is amazing. And this starts when she's 11. You go a couple years in the first book, a couple years in the next book, and you end up with a romance, and I love it. I love this series so much. Like, if you just read romance, I still really recommend that you read this series. It is an absolute delight. I love it so freaking much. I'm so excited to read the second book in March, and the live show was amazing. Definitely watch the rewatch, and the one in March I'm so excited for. This is just all-time favorites. All-time favorites. And Tamora Pierce is an amazing author who has brought me a lot of joy for the good portion of my life. Then I have Heir, which is Bloodline Vampires #2 by Katee Robert. I love this polyamorous vampires trying to save the world via sex, dark romance with the magic and all the things. I love it so freaking much. It's so smutty and bloody and dark and twisted, and I love it. So you have a vampire which is a half vampire, half human, and she is sent as a sacrifice to this one vampire at the beginning of the first book, and then his 2 friends show up and they all share each other. The guys have been like long-standing friends with benefits type situation, and it's so steamy, and then it's so good. And then there are magical things, and then they're trying to get her pregnant. In the second book, they're trying to get her pregnant so that she can be the heir of her father, and basically they can all not die and they can change things for the better, and it's so good. And it ends on a major cliffhanger, and I can't wait for the third book. I would love if we even got like another series in this world. That would be amazing too. And then lastly, I have Take a Hint, Dani Brown, which is The Brown Sisters #2 by Talia Hibbert. This is a delight. It is a booktube darling. It is well known in the community, but it is so good. So we have Dani. She is kind of an alpha bi professor, and she is a delight, but also she's not interested in relationships to protect her heart. And then you have Zaf, who's like a die-hard romantic. He reads romance novels. Don't make me knock over my coffee. And he's a cinnamon roll, and he like takes care of Dani, but he's just like, no, you can't have feelings for her. She's your friend. You're being, I don't even know, but oh. Then they end up, he rescues her during a fire drill gone wrong. She's stuck in the elevator. He rescues her. They go viral, and they start fake dating for his charity. And they're so cute. I really feel like the conflict could have been resolved in a different way other than a third act breakup, and without the angst and lack of communication. It's not really miscommunication. It's more of a lack of communication. Even so, I still love this book because Talia Hibbert's writing is delightful. It is so funny, so quotable, so witty. The banter's so good. Her descriptions are so good. I highlighted so many things in this book. Like, it is just an absolute delight. I could not read this level of angst and breakup every day. But reading one every few months for this series has been so good. Perfection. Just yes. Yes. So good. Love it. Love it. you should read it. So those are my top 5 favorite books that I read this month. What was the favorite book that you read? Have you read any of these? If you're going to follow along the Alanna the Lioness read along, tell me. I love this book so much, and I'm just, this is my favorite part of booktube, is finding other people who have read the same book, and it's so good, and you guys get to talk spoilers with each other. That's the greatest. So if there's any book that I've read that you want to talk spoilers to me about in my Instagram messages, please feel free to do that. As long as you're talking about a book, like, I will let you in the door. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.